Hello everybody and welcome back to another video here on Cobbler's Vlog. It's time for another opposition view live stream where we talk to an opposition fan, get the lowdown on our opponents for the weekend's game. This is a big one. It's what we call an old relegation six-pointer. Luke NTFC is here in the chat. Lucy Mayfair's here, Reliable's here, Isaac Bidwell's here. Thank you everyone for joining us. Hello to any Wimbledon fans as well. Welcome. If you're watching this back as a video, welcome as well. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button if I can get it the right way around. There we go. Hit that thumbs up button. That will set the algorithms off and get us around everywhere. And if you can hit that subscribe button as well, if you're a Wimbledon fan, you've never seen my face on your screen before. You're probably not going to subscribe to me if I keep calling you Wimbledon. So I'm going to say it right. AFC Wimbledon. There we go. Because we don't want to talk about the club that is now Wimbledon because, quite frankly, neither of us like them and nobody watching likes them. And nobody anywhere really likes them, do they? So without further ado, I'd like to welcome along Lee Finch from the Wombles Had a Dream podcast. Lee, welcome along. How are you doing?
Thanks for having me, Matt. Yeah, I'm very good, thank you. Yeah, not bad. How are you?
Yeah, not bad, thank you. Glad that we're kind of coming to an end of all this kind of lockdown stuff. So hopefully a bit more freedom to come. But the most important thing right now, well, probably not because I'll get slated for saying that, so I completely take that back. The most important thing now is not football. But a very important thing in both of our lives right now is the League One relegation battle that we are posed with. Obviously, AFC Wimbledon are in that battle with us. They're in that mini six league with Wimbledon, us, Bristol Rovers, Wigan, help me out, Rochdale, and that's it. Yeah, that's the six, isn't it? So it's going to be a tough one. We're going to talk about that mini league later, but I want to talk about AFC Wimbledon season so far first. Obviously, you've been in League One for quite a few years now. You kind of nearly established yourselves as a League One club because, you know, no disrespect to you, but I think it's fair to say that you've been kind of floating around the bottom for the last few years. How have you been doing this season? What's gone wrong in terms of where you are in the table?
Yeah, first, Matt, we don't mind being called Wimbledon because we are the real Wimbledon. We are the original Wimbledon.
That's true.
AFC Wimbledon or Wimbledon is happy. We're happy with that. Yeah, as long as when we say we're the Dons, we are the real Dons, and that's
you are the real Dons. Absolutely.
So, just to correct you on that one, but yeah, with regards to our season so far, we started off pretty bright. We were doing all right. We were thinking of the playoffs at one point as fans because we started off our best ever season in League One, and then it slowly just started going downhill. Really, our manager at the time, Glyn Hodges, who's now left, he was quite stubborn. He wouldn't change the team around. He wouldn't change the formation around. And the way we were playing was quite boring. We weren't really getting much possession on the ball. So we were about 30% possession, I think it was. So we weren't seeing much of the ball. And if you don't see a lot of the ball, you're not going to score a lot of goals. And then we started, drifting away. We had a cup run where we had to play, I think it was about 5 games in 7 days, something like that. It was something mad. We had to go to Barrow on a Tuesday, then we had to play Crawley on the Sunday. And then when we lost to Crawley in the FA Cup, that was the tipping point really for us. Our form really started dipping and, ended up near the end of the bottom of the table and higher up in the league. So.
And you obviously now moved into your new stadium. You're in Plough Lane. That's where the game is going to be played on Saturday, of course. Do you think that maybe has had an influence on the form, or has your home form been quite good?
Our home form since we moved to Plough Lane has been pretty bad, to be fair. So it may be getting used to it. Our commentary team always mention it, which I don't like, mention it, that away teams will be like buzzing to be playing there. It's a nice stadium. Don't get me wrong, it's beautiful. We love it, but it's not Wembley. It's not Barcelona, Madrid. It is Wimbledon. You know what I mean? It's a nice stadium, but you're not gonna be scared of playing there. So maybe the pitch ain't helping us. So we've got quite a nice surface now. So teams that want to come and play football, they've got a pitch to do it. It's like a carpet now. So if you play football against us, then you'll do all right there. If you play long ball and stuff like that, then you're going to struggle, I think. But yeah, Plough Lane at the moment, our form at home ain't great. It's better now since our new manager's come in. But yeah, it wasn't great. So yeah, it's a.
And you yourself, have you had a chance to get in there, have a look around, or has it been pretty much closed off to everyone? Nobody allowed in apart from kind of the team and the staff.
Yeah, it's closed off there. No fans at the moment. Even when fans, we had that little period where some fans were allowed to get back in. Our ground weren't ready for that. So there's still, I think, building work still being done. So it's pretty much closed off. There's a few people that have been inside it and have been lucky enough to get there, but I don't feel like we're home until every fan can go back in there. So once we've got test events coming up, I believe, once again, fans can go in. But I wouldn't be interested in going to a test event. I want the place rammed. I want it packed. And
yeah, absolutely.
Every Wimbledon fan who's had something to do with the club can get back there and then see the ground on a Saturday or Tuesday night, which is going to be buzzing, really. So.
I mean, myself and all the Cobblers fans in the chat will probably agree that we can't wait to see a full six fields, even, with one stand that's kind of half finished. We can't wait to see a full six field. So I can imagine the adrenaline and the excitement must be so much higher as well when you've got a new, nice, modern stadium. Like you said, it's not Wembley, it's not like Brentford's ground, it's not like kind of the Spurs ground, So
it's better than all them
new grounds in London.
It's better than all them, to be fair. But yeah, what I'm going by with that is that, like, people are saying, they're getting a lift. Teams are getting a lift by coming to Plough Lane because of the new stadium, which I don't know. It's a beauty. It is better. I think it's better than Brentford's ground. I think it's better. It's the best ground now. Have you ever been to Kings Meadow? Did you ever go to a Kings Meadow to watch?
No, I never got the chance. I've seen what it's like, but I've never had the chance to do that.
I would not like to be an away fan going to watch your team play it. So if you're Northampton and you've been to Kings Meadow, you know what I'm talking about. It's horrendous. It's a horrendous view. If you get in there late, you're stuffed. You're not going to see much of the game. If you're a kid there, you literally, you're going to have to be on someone's shoulders, and it's horrendous. And it's also, there's a bit of it that's open as well. So if it's raining, it's not very nice. So yeah, now when we move to Plough Lane, we get away fans in, you can see the game, and the atmosphere is going to be brilliant. So that's one of the good things about it as well.
Yeah, I've seen Kings Meadow kind of other YouTubers that kind of do match day vlogs. And it looks as though the away end is obviously, but that kind of half behind the dugouts, and it kind of looked like there was no kind of height to it. It looked like it was just a flat surface, like a pavement, and then the to be like a small block on the end of the stand. Hello, we're back. I don't know what happened there.
Was that you or was that me?
It was probably me. I don't know. Who knows? Everyone in comments saying Matt's cut off. So I told you, didn't I, before we came on, that this would happen. So yeah, I was just saying Plough Lane looks like a completely flat surface. You're not going to see anything. And then that seated section behind the goal, you seem to just get like 50 seats for the away fans, and no segregation either.
Yeah, that's where I used to sit. We used to stand in there. Me and a few of my mates used to stand in there. There used to be about 25, 30 of us who used to stand, try and sing, give the away fans a little bit of stick as well, take it back and try and make an atmosphere, really. That's what football's about. It's about giving it to the away fans, and the away fans giving it to us if they win. But yeah, it was for the big teams like Sunderland and stuff like that who used to go into these massive stadiums. To come down to Kings Meadow was always a bit of a shock to them. So it was always quite funny to kind of score and then not be able to see anything and stuff. So that was always fun. So.
It's the same for us. I can imagine coming to Six Fields and seeing a half-built stand. I think every single set of away fans, the first thing they do is, "What the fucking hell is that?" So it's just like that's the way it is. So good stuff. I remember also seeing Wimbledon have decent away support. I remember I went to one of the most random games ever. I think Cobblers was supposed to play Wigan, and the game got postponed because Wigan had players on international duty. This was the last time we were in League One, and we had train tickets booked and everything, and obviously the Cobblers game at Wigan was cancelled the day after, but the train tickets, sod's law. So we had these train tickets. We thought, well, what Northern games are there in League One? And AFC Wimbledon were playing Blackpool. So we went and sat in the Blackpool end and saw AFC Wimbledon versus Blackpool. So a little sort of random Wimbledon fun fact. And there's the video of that game, I think, is on his channel somewhere as well. So if anyone's going to have a look at that afterwards, feel free. Anyway, back to the focus on the game. The reverse fixture, obviously, we played it back on the first day of the season. We were probably higher than ever for that game. We just come out off the back of a Carabao Cup win against Cardiff. I think we beat them 3-0. And it's fair to say Cardiff didn't put the strongest side out. But, a win against a championship team for a newly promoted team like us is always going to be a massive bonus. And then we came and played you guys. I think you scored after about 30 seconds, didn't you, or something? You scored very early on, and they ended 2-2. What did you make of that reverse fixture in terms of us?
I can't really remember it. This season's been so long. It feels like it's like 2 seasons in one or something. It feels like the start of the season was years ago. It's because of COVID as well. I think it's just so because of stop-start kind of stuff, and it seems like such a long season. I literally can't remember us playing you back in August. And was it 2-2?
2-2, yeah. I think the other thing is as well. I looked at the lineups from that game, and then I looked at your lineup from your last game and our lineup from our last game, and they were completely different. There was about 7 players from each team that were different. So, and for us, we played Oxford the other week, and we played them the reverse fixture in December, and that felt like an absolute age ago. So to remember back to September, fair enough. It's a long time to remember. Let's talk about your recent form then. Overall, you've played 36 games this season. You've won 9 of them. You've drawn 7, and you've lost 20. You've got 33 points. You sat in 23rd. You've got 2 games in hand. Who are they against? And do you think that those 2 games in hand could prove vital in keeping you up if you do stay up?
Well, one of the big games in hand we've got is Rochdale. So we were due to play them last on Tuesday when you played Oxford, but they've got international call-ups. So I don't know who they've got who are international, but Rochdale, bottom of League One, have international call-ups. So that game was called up, and that was, I think, a good thing for us. It meant that we could rest. Our new manager, where we've been playing Saturday, Tuesday for so long, hasn't really had time to bed in with the boys and get what he wants and what he keeps saying is a processing involved. So now with a long week, he's been able to get them in, get everyone on the same page. Any players need resting, they can be rested and take a couple of days out. So yeah, our form at the moment, we've drawn 5 in the last 6. On Saturday against Charlton, we were a better team, I think, and Charlton were one of the top teams in the league at the time. We've lost to Hull recently, who again I think one of the best teams in the league. We lost to Peterborough, one of the best teams in the league. So this league's a very funny one for me because I think it's very open. I think anyone can beat anyone on their day, except for that top 3. I think Peterborough, Hull, and Sunderland are miles ahead of everyone. But then after that, we beat Gillingham recently. We beat Gillingham 1-0, and then they're in the playoffs and flying, which amazes me because they were rubbish against us. Burton, who were flying. We lost 1-0 to them at home, but they had 1 shot and they scored with it, and that's it really. So on form wise, we're back picking up points. Too many draws, but yeah, we are at least picking up points under new manager. So
yeah, I definitely agree with you. Anyone can beat anyone in this league. You know, we went and shocked Portsmouth, the other week and beat them 4-1. And yeah, like you say, with the managerial situation, very similar to us. John Brady, when he came in start of February, Saturday, Tuesday every week for him, and then he had a week off. We then played Crewe on the Saturday, and we were absolutely terrible. We were kind of back to the way Keith Kerr was playing. So the week off probably didn't benefit us that much. You mentioned draws there. I'm looking at your stats. You've not won in your last 7. I mean, you say you beat Gillingham recently. That was probably, a couple of weeks ago, and you've probably played 7 games since then. Your last 3 games have been draws. You've had 5 draws in your last 6 or 7. Are you dropping points, or are they more 1 point gained, or are they 2 points dropped?
A couple of them are points dropped. I say Wigan. We drew 1-1 with Wigan. We didn't play well, to be fair. Charlton, I think that was we were gutted to not win that game. It's tough because before, when we would go 1-0 down or something like that, I'd have us losing that game straight away. Where now, if we go 1-0 down, I can see us getting back into games and maybe winning that game. So, yeah, our form's a bit misleading, really, because we are playing better than we were. So if you're looking down at the bottom of the table and thinking Wimbledon, are they going to be a nice, easy pushover? That's totally changed from when our previous manager were in. As I said, we're playing a little bit more possession football. It's just where we were so bad at the back, we're not anymore. But where we were good up front, we're not scoring goals anymore. So it's gone flip side. So we're defending better, but we can't seem to score at the moment.
It's really weird the way that changes. I mean, you said about that, look at Wimbledon at the bottom of the table. Oh, that'd be an easy game, and they turn up and it's not. And I think that's the same with kind of every team. A couple of weeks ago, everybody was saying, "Oh, Swindon are down because they were maybe 2 points adrift at the bottom of the relegation." So it's so tight. Let's talk about this Saturday. And who should we be looking out for in terms of Wimbledon danger men. I've got a few names written down. I wouldn't be surprised if you turn around and said they're injured or they've left or they've got COVID or something. So I've got the names: Alex Woodyard, who's a midfielder; Ollie Palmer, the striker; Ryan Longman, who scored both your goals against Charlton last time out; Ethan Chislett, who scored in the reverse fixture; and Joe Pigott as well up front. Those kind of 5 or 6. And then is there anyone else that we should be looking out for as well? Talk to us about those.
So Joe Pigott's the main man, really. He's got 14 goals, 13 or 14 goals this season. He's not been on great form recently, but he could always pop up with a goal. I've tipped him to get a hat trick on Saturday on our podcast. So because he can always score a goal. Ethan Chislett, I think he's still injured. He might be back. I don't know. There was an update recently, but I think he's still injured. Ryan Longman is the one I'd say watch out for. He's had a rest. He's come back and he looks lively now. He scored 2 on Saturday. He can either play on the wing or he can play up front. I hope that we go with 2 up front. And one of the names you mentioned there, Palmer. Palmer's a big centre half, scored many goals probably in League 2. Hasn't really stepped up to League 1 yet. He's unfortunately suffered with injuries. But he is a big battering ram centre half. So if we can get balls in the box, we could be getting flicks or second balls and stuff like that. So him, Woodyard's had a bit of a hit and miss season. He's playing better now under a new manager, but before he wasn't really doing it for myself. He picks up needless booking. So if you can rattle him and pick up a booking, he might get himself sent off. He ain't been sent off yet, but he does get yellow cards for nothing else really. Rodoni's one that you haven't mentioned there. He's a young 19-year-old who come for our youth. He scored a absolute worldie against Gillingham. Again, it seems like it was only a couple of weeks ago, but yeah, it was probably 8 games ago. Out of nothing, he can do anything really. And a guy called Shay Alexander, who we got from Barnet in non-league, our right wing back. He's got a really good, decent cross on him. So he's the one I'd be watching, stopping crosses going into your box really, because if he puts them in the box, Pig and Palmer will be all over him, and then we've got Longman and Rudy who can hopefully get on the second balls. But our weakness is at the back, so we've only got 2 fit centre halves at the moment. If you play on the floor and you play through, you'll score. If you play long ball, then you ain't going to have a chance, because they'll lap up Hennigan and Will Nightingale. So
that's really interesting with the kind of long ball versus on the floor stuff, because we've kind of really been long ball under Keith Curl, and then Brady's come in, and it's kind of been maybe a mixture of both, a lot more trying to play the right way. Luke's asked a really good question in the chat, which we are going to come on to in just a minute. We're going to talk about the relegation fight as a whole. I just want to finish, just kind of move the game aside for a second once we've done that. First of all, let's get you what kind of game you think it's going to be. Every guest that's come on and spoke to me has said, it's going to be a battle, it's going to be a battle. So I wouldn't be surprised to hear you say the same. And then let's have a score prediction from you, please.
I don't think it's going to be a battle. I think it'd be a very good game of football. As I said, the way we're playing now is that we move the ball around really quickly and really well. Like you said, this is where people get mixed up with long ball and getting the ball in the opposition's half quickly. Liverpool do it very well, and that's where I think people are now changing from when Wimbledon used to be, say, a long ball team back in the 90s. It's more about getting the ball forward and getting into the opposition's half as soon as possible, and that's where you play your football. And I think the same. I think if you boys are playing football at the moment instead of going long ball, it could be a really good game of football. I think the most important thing is who's going to score first. If we score first, your heads could go, and then you literally will have, because I don't think a point's good enough for either team. I think 3 points has to be 3 points or nothing. Yeah. And then that whoever scores first, it means the other team has to come out. So I'm just hoping that we get a nice quick early goal, and you're probably sitting there thinking, I hope you get a nice early goal, and then we'll see a bit of a game, I think. I predicted that we'll win 3-1, but that was before you played Oxford, because I looked at the Crewe game, and as I said, I don't think you had a shot on target against Crewe, which for me, well, yeah, our defence is leaky, but if you're not even having a shot against Crewe, and Crewe's defence ain't great, to be fair, then that should be positives. But then you go and beat Oxford, who are one of the best teams in the league as well. So I still think 3-1 to Wimbledon. So
Cool. It's been a very tough season in terms of since Brady's come over. We've kind of been very up and down in terms of whether we're going to turn up. And the thing that will probably be music to your ears is we have struggled under Brady against the teams around us. It's the Portsmouth that we've beat. It's Oxford and teams like that we've gone and got results against. Doncaster we drew to away from home a couple of weeks ago. They're not a bad team either. So under Brady, we obviously. Keith Curle lost his last game to Wigan. Brady's first game was a 1-0 or 2-1 or something. It was a loss against Burton. And that was when they were still, pretty rubbish and down and out. So it's probably going to be music to your ears to hear that we're not doing too well against the mini six league at the bottom. Luke asks a great question in the chat. It was what I was going to come on to it as kind of the last thing. He asks, what 4 teams do you think will get relegated and who's the worst team you've seen play this season? And I'll bolt onto that as well, is do you think AFC Wimbledon will be playing in League One next season?
Heart says no, we won't. Heart says yes, we will be playing League One. Sorry, my head says no, we won't be. I think we, unfortunately, going to leave too much to do. I think the 4 teams going down, Rochdale, I think they're out of it. I think, unfortunately, you boys might have too much to do as well. I don't know your fixtures, but we've got some very tough fixtures in April.
Yeah.
Who else is down there? I can't remember who's down there now.
Wigan.
I think Burton are safe now. The other one is Wigan. It's so tough because Bristol Rovers haven't won a game, I don't think, under Joe Barton. They were horrendous against us the other week. It was 0-0, and I don't know how we didn't win that game. But Wigan are a poor team as well. Oh, it's a tough question. That's a good question from Luke.
It is, yeah.
I'm going to go then. I'm going to go Rochdale, Bristol Rovers, Northampton, and Wigan, and we will stay up.
Oh, bold stuff! I like it. I'll give you our run-in, probably just to give you a bit of confidence. So after we play you, we play Shrewsbury. We've got Hull away. We've got Bristol Rovers at home. That's going to be a big one. Peterborough away. Obviously, that's a derby day. It pains me to say it, but we never do well against them. We play Ipswich as well, and then we play Gillingham. Away on the final day of the season. This is the one that hurts. We've got to go to the... Oh, no. Bash the desk and got the camera over. I'm not frustrated about it. On the last day of the season, we've got to go to the Stadium of Light and play Sunderland. So, if we need a result on the last day, I'm not going to be feeling too confident about that one. What's your running like? Do you know what it's like, or shall I try and get it up?
We play after you lot. We play Easter. We play Plymouth away. They're not in great form, so it's not a bad game. And then we play Fleetwood. I know that one on the Easter Monday. Again, they're not in great form either because I thought they would actually be pulled into it at one point. So I'm confident with them 2 games coming up. But yeah, if we can get 3 points against you, and again, you probably be feeling the same. If you can get 3 points on Saturday, that lifts the confidence going into that Easter weekend, which is huge again because you've got to play 2 games over that weekend. I know we have Lincoln last game of the season, which is going to be very tough for us as well. We have Rochdale in the running. I can't remember. I think we have to play Portsmouth as well.
So you've got Ipswich, Swindon. You play in the middle of April. You play Oxford.
Yep.
You play Ipswich twice in the space of about 2 weeks. Then you play Rochdale, and then your penultimate game is at home to Portsmouth. And then obviously, as you said, you finish against Lincoln City. So it's going to be some tough games.
And if you look at a couple of them teams, Portsmouth have just got the Cowley brothers in, so they're going to be tough to beat now. Ipswich have got Cook in now. They're going to be tough. Oxford are tough to beat. I know you did it on Tuesday, but they're still one of the best teams in the league. Yeah, we've got a very tough running. That's why we need to be beating the teams around us. So that's why it has to be 3 points on Saturday. Otherwise, I think we could be doomed. And I think the same, if you don't get 3 points, it's going to be tough.
As I've already said, it's going to be a relegation 6-pointer. Just a quick one on the final day. Bristol Rovers, they play Blackpool. Just looking down, we've got Rochdale go to Milton Keynes. We won't add that word on the end. Oxford play Burton, as we said. Burton probably out of it now. Obviously, yourselves go to Lincoln, wasn't it? We said we go to Sunderland. And the big one, I think this could probably decide it. Wigan play Swindon on the last day of the season. So that's going to be, Sky Soccer Saturday are going to be absolutely all over that one. So it's going to be really interesting. Thanks very much for coming on, Lee. Really appreciate your time. You're obviously part of the Wombles Had a Dream podcast. I'm assuming it's on all the normal pod places. Just let us know where we can find you on Twitter and stuff like that.
Yes, you can find us at Wombles Dream on Twitter. We're also on Facebook, and you can find us with Spotify, iTunes, all the normal places that you listen to your podcast. So, it's been a pleasure, Matt. Thanks very much for having us on, and good luck on the rest of the season. Just not on Saturday.
Thank you very much, and the same to you as well. Really appreciate your time and for coming on as well. Thank you to everybody that's watched this as well. A massive thank you also to our Patreon supporters. We've got Adam Page, Luke NCFC, Mike Fuller, Dan Wiseman, Jason Rodhouse, trying to remember them all. A couple of you, those of you in the hospitality tier, you've got your very own Cobbler's Vlog, if I can get it right again, your very own Cobbler's Vlogs mug coming your way, which I must re-emphasise is for Bovril drinking only. Lee, that's got to be the last question. Do you like a Bovril on a match day or not?
We mentioned this on the last podcast. Can't stand the stuff, mate. It is. I don't get it. Don't get it.
Come on, get out.
Why would you drink soup at a football game?
Yeah,
not soup. Sorry, gravy. Why are you having gravy at a football game? It's mental.
Lovely on a nice cold winter's day. I'm that guy that's you smell it coming down the road. You're like, who the hell's got that? And then you just see me sat there. So
not having it.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Cool. So thanks to all our Patreon supporters. Thank you to everyone who has watched this video. Make sure you do hit the like button, whether you're watching it now live or you're watching it back as a video. Make sure to hit the subscribe button as well. Check out the Wombles Had a Dream podcast too. That's it from us. Hopefully the Cobblers get that win on Saturday. Best of luck to Wimbledon as well for the rest of the season. And until next time, we'll see you all later. Bye-bye.